Let me see. Oh, I didn't check whether my webcam is working okay. So let me just see if you guys can see me. Oh, there we are. Hello there. As always, we're just going to do a little bit of a check to make sure everything is working, but I hope you're all very well. I'm on a little bit of a tilt there. Oh, honestly, I will get this this webcam to point out to me, which is fabulous. Glitchy, and we're getting a bit of freezing every now and again. So I'm hoping that you guys can see me okay and hear me okay. I've also got a little cat who's about to come and join me, I think. So yes, so I hope you're all doing well and that you can see and hear me okay. Please do let me know in the comments if you're having any issues. Today's live then, we've moved it to tonight because I do have an event that I'm going to tomorrow with some friends, so I won't be around tomorrow evening. Hello Claire. Claire, that might be, your dream might come true. I think you've willed it to happen. Like I say, I had been told that maybe earlier in the week might be a good time to be here. I'm going to change to the overhead because we've got a little furry friend. Here's my little furry friend in the way. Some bits that I've already die cut and coloured that I thought I might have a little rummage through first, because this is sometimes a good option if you're not sure what you want to do. If you've already got a load of items that have already been stamped, then that might give you a bit of inspiration, might be a good place to start. So, and I'm actually really loving this little parasol situation, because I did want to make something that was a bit summer themed. So I've got a couple of these actually that are cut out, so that's quite cute, isn't it? What do you think, Maisie? What do you think we should do today? Just come and having a little snifferoo, aren't you? What do you think to those? Little snifferoo. So that we might do that, but I also had pulled out this Cool Critters stamp set, which is, because there's lots of different ways that we could do this, and we could make it really simple, and we could also personalise it for Dad, couldn't we, Maisie? Yes, we could. She's just sat here looking at me now. So, like I said, I have got a few of these elements probably already die cut and coloured. So I've got this little raccoon chap with his ice lolly, so we could definitely use him. And let's have a look, see what else I've got in here. I mean, I've got Happy New Year. We won't be using that, will we? This guy with the little cherries, very cute. And this little character hanging on the branch is cute. I mean, I'm going to get distracted now because they're all very cute. But I can see here, I've got a cat with a lollipop. I've got another cat. So this is very appropriate for my family and for my dad, because we're big cat lovers, as you've seen with Maisie coming and joining us. So I mean, we have got some really cute little like sea themed and seasidey themed sets, which are really good for this time of year. So if you've not seen any of those, like I say, we've got the beach buddies, and then which have got these cute little seagull. Oh, that's really cute. So I'm definitely going to be utilising those. I mean, I can see here that I've also die cut from one of the sets. I can't remember which one it is. I'll have to have a look. I can't pick it up with my nails. Let me utilise my little picky up tool. A little spade. Jess says hello, and hello to the cats. I think Maisie's got bored of me now and she's gone. There was nothing that she wanted to eat, so she's left me. Although she might come back in later because she's left her toys behind, so she might come back in. And Caroline's here. Hello, Caroline. Absolutely love your dies and stamps and love your ideas. Oh, Caroline, that's so lovely of you. Thank you. Is it Caroline or Caroline? But thank you so much for your comments. That's so nice. So they all seem a little bit wintry, although I found my bucket for my spade, so that's cute, and I found another spade, so that's cute. So maybe I need to organise these a little bit more. I found another bucket. Oh, so there you go. So we've got a couple of buckets there. So that's cute. And then what have I got in here? I've got some workout pigs. I've got a mouse with a strawberry. I've got a little, that could be a frappuccino, which Ant and I have been having debates about the difference between a frappe and a frappuccino. If anybody knows, please do comment and let us know, and then I will let you know at the end what our argument resulted in. So I found another little little ice cream, and a lolly, actually, not an ice cream. And what else have I got? I've actually got here a mouse with a strawberry already coloured in. Now I think there's just something about mice and strawberries that is very summer, so that would be a nice little summery set as well. So I've actually got lots of lovely little little pre-coloured images here that I could definitely use. Look at this guy. That's cute for a birthday or a Father's Day card. So I've also got lots of sentiments already die cut as well, but I think I'm going to use one of the sentiments that's in the set, because I can team that up with a separate dad, or yeah, I will. Shall I go with Father's Day or Dad's Day? To Dad, or yeah, I'm not sure. We'll figure that out. I'm trying to think if we've got a set that might have got Father's Day covered. I don't think we have. We have the Simple Sentiments set, which I'm going to struggle to find now. But what we can do is we can use one of our alphabet stamp sets just to stamp out the word father. So we might do that instead. Excuse me while I have a little drink. It's very very hot at the moment, so and there is no air in here. I've got all the lights on, which makes it very hot. And we've also got Anthony's Alpha's dies, which we could use as well for our sentiment. So that's cool. Now then, I'm just having a little flick through my oh, this is a great die. This is a great die for this. I think this might work. I might go for that one, or I could do a slimline. So we've got a couple of different slimline sets, but the slimline one that I'm thinking is the slimline slopes, which is lots of S's, and I can't find it now because there she is, look. So this one's quite good for building up a scene. It might be too slimline for my ice cream van, but for our little characters to sit, and I might stamp out the little rabbit as well, because we haven't got the rabbit there, and then we could do our Father's Day around that. I've not done a slimline card for a while, but I think I might go with that one. I'm feeling inspired by that. My only concern is being able to fit the word father on. So, have a cool day. So we could go with a sentiment. Dad, hope your day is sweet. There we go. We've figured it out. So that would definitely fit on here. So if I show you the dies, we've got, obviously we're going to have to use that D twice but you can see that's going to easily fit. Love that. Okay, so we're getting somewhere now, aren't we? So Caroline says it's spelt the American way for Caroline, so it is Caroline. Well, lovely to have you, Caroline. Caroline loves the slimline cards and have both of the wavy dies you are showing. Great for beach scenes. Perfect. Oh, I'm so glad you've got these as well then. So this will be a really good good one then, hopefully, for you. If you've got these are so good for those types of scenes. And I might go for a beach scene. I might put us in a beach scenario. I could even use the little parasols, couldn't we, for our beach? That could be cute. And then we could have a couple of those, and we could also have our little buckets and spades as well that we've already got. Oh, this is coming together really well. That's very cute. I did have another bucket, didn't I? Where's my other bucket? Yes, I think this definitely is a plan, isn't it? Yes, that's cute. Okay, so we've got an idea now. This is what I'm saying about having something like this is really helpful, because it does give you a little bit of a jumping off point, and you can mix and match your stamp sets that way as well, which you might not, if you don't see it, then you might not think of using it. So I have got one of the sentiments already done there. I've already die cut a lot of these, but I think we'll probably restamp the one that I need, because I can't see that one off the top of my head. So I'll put that back out of the way, and then we'll get started on putting this one together. So I'm going to need a slimline slimline card. Sorry, let's pop that in, because I don't think we're going to need that now. So, for my slimline card base, there's a couple of things you could do. You could use our slimline dies here. So the largest die, let me just double check. I think this is the same size. Yes, so the largest die here is the same size as the slimline slopes. So you could use this to help you build your card base if you wanted to, and I think I will do that, because I think that will be easiest. And I also think I might make it from some coloured cardstock. Rather than using a white base, I might use something a bit different, a bit of a different colour. Now I could go pink, but it's for my dad. So not being, you know, too traditional, but I do think doing it in a different colour would be quite fun. So, and I'm wondering whether maybe a bit of a vanilla sort of a colour, an ivory colour, might be quite nice as a backdrop. Or we could go blue. That might be quite cool. Should we try blue? I do have this lovely aqua colour, but we haven't got any of that in the colouring that we've already done. So I'm just going to grab some blue. This is a lovely blue, and it's very similar to the blue that I've used. So I think I'm going to go with that. Pop that back in there. Turn on my die-cutting machine. I'm going to use my scoreboard here just to help me. Excuse me. Oh, I do apologise. I've got a bit of a frog in my throat. So this is a it's a cutting machine and a scoreboard. So if I use the die as a bit of a guide as to where I want to put my score line, and then I'll just mark that off, pop that down there, and then I'm just going to follow that line and score my card. And then we'll just reinforce that line like so. So I'm going to pop that back over. Now, if you wanted to, you could very easily now just trim that to size using the die as a guide, or you can do what I'm going to attempt to do. When I've popped that back in its place, is I'm going to use the die to cut out my card base. So the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to take my die, and I'm going to line it up with my folded piece of card. But you can see here that the die is raised where the cut line is. Sorry, that's a little bit off camera, isn't it? So there, this bit here is that I'm running my nail across is raised. So I'm going to butt that up against the score line, so that bit won't cut. So if I turn this over, you'll be able to feel it when you push it up against there. You'll feel that raised area is not going to come over that score line. And then I'm going to use some washi tape to hold that in place. So I'll pop that on there. And then the pressure of the Gemini will hopefully go through both pieces of this card. We might have to run it through a couple of times, but we'll give it a go. So sorry about the noise for a moment. Oh, my slugs come out. So, and how is everybody this evening then? Are we crafting along? Are we just watching? Claire and Jess, are you crafting along? I know you normally like to have a little craft along with me. So that's cut out, look. That's cut out beautifully, in fact. So, and I now have a little weird piece of cardstock that I can use for something else. I'll just take off those bits. These bits might be quite good for heat embossing the sentiment, so I'm going to hang on to that because we might actually do that. So just be careful when you take off your washi tape. You don't want to rip your cardstock. So sometimes rolling the tape off can be quite good to protect the cardstock. And then that's my card base. So there we go, we've got a nice slimline card base that'll stand up perfectly and is sized perfectly. So the next job that we've got, obviously we've got a lot of our bits already die cut there, but I need to die cut this, and I'm going to die cut it out of some white cardstock. So I need to find some white cardstock that is big enough to have it already cut up. What we've got in here. Oh, what's this? Oh, let's try a piece of this. Grab it. There we go. So this is a piece of the Time for Tea slimline, and as you can, smooth cardstock. I've got slimline on the brain. You can see, because what I was going to say was that this the slimline dies that we have are slightly longer than the width of an A4 piece of cardstock or paper. So you will have to do it the other way. So it'll have to sit portrait. Yeah, in portrait. So, but I'm going to cut around it for the simple reason that when I put this through my die cutting machine, because of the pressure in certain places, a full sheet of A4 with my die at one side isn't going to cut it how I want to. It's not going to cut it out first time. So this is the best way of making sure it goes through. You know, we still might have to do it twice because sometimes the pressure can be a little bit awkward, but being able to position the die in the center of my my plate and on an angle does help with any pressure issues and means that you're more likely to get a clean cut first time round. So let's pop this one through. So Claire says that she's crafting along as always. What are you making today? What are you in the market for making? Have you made any Father's Day cards? Has anybody made any Father's Day cards? Whether it be, you know, for your own family or for friends, maybe I don't know if anybody makes cards that they then either give to charities or sell, but I'd love to know about that as well. So taking all of our tape off, and I'm trying to keep it pretty much in place so that I know where it all goes, although it obviously it's fairly self-explanatory, isn't it? So I'm going to pop that in there. And we can pop these away now, actually, because we've used those, haven't we? We don't need them now, so I'll pop them away so that they're I'm not likely to lose any of them or drop any of them. Okay, so I'll move my little images out of the way because this bit is where we're going to build the background scene, if you like, and this is the bit where I want to do a little bit of ink blending. As you know, I love my ink blending, and I want to create this this beach scenario. So this should work. Let me grab my stencil mat. Let's remove this from the picture because we're going to keep that as being white, so that's going to stand out really nice against this blue background. And we could potentially leave the top part of it as a beautiful blue sky, and I'm kind of maybe we'll do that, and then we use these bottom pieces as the beach. This could be sky, and then this could be sea. You see. And then these we perhaps don't need. And then as we build this up, there will be some dimension there, and then there will also be something that's a little bit flatter. So this little parasol, I would really like to sit behind one of these areas, and I think it'd be better off sitting there potentially, and then we could have one down here. So I'm just testing out where this is all going to work and how it's going to fit. So let's put that one under there. It's very cute, isn't it? And I might cut out the bottom. I might cut out the bottom bit here because obviously I'm going to ink blend. I would quite like one of them to sit in a bit more that direction, so that they're kind of opposites. So that would be quite cute. And then this would be C. So we'd have cat there, cat there, cat there. And then we would have our little sentiment. Let's grab the sentiment. We've got hope your day's sweet. Well, that could go on there. Hope your day's sweet. I feel like I want to heat emboss that onto the background. That will be good. And then we've got Dad. I've got nothing in the sea until, unless we put that in the sea, but that feels like that sits better there. So Dad is going across there. Hope your day's sweet. And then we've got some other little accessories, but I'm going to have another look in here. Actually, I have got other little images that have been stamped and die cut. So I'm just going to have a look, see. Have I got any of my little seaside friends that have been die cut? I think those are my whales, so no, they won't work. Let's have a look in here, because we found the little gull, didn't we? It was quite cute, though he's a little bit big for the sea, I think. Let's have a look in here. Oh, we've got this little guy. I feel like I want one of my fish because these are a bit too big. And I know I've got some fish somewhere, but if I've not got any stamped already, we can stamp one. So I must not have saved any of them, or I've used them all already. Yeah, I can't see any in there. Oh, look what I found. I found a rabbit. I might use the rabbit instead of the two cats. Yes, that's cute, isn't it? I might go with this guy with his rainbow instead. Right, that does look quite cute though, doesn't it? What do we think? Should we use because I can cut a little line in there so that he's under the water. I might hold on to that because I think it's going to look really cute. Okay, it's starting to take shape. I'm starting to feel my process is coming together. Does anybody like fizzy sweets? Because I do. I'm going to have a little fizzy sweet to keep me going because I've not had anything to eat yet today. Well, obviously I had some lunch, but that seems a very long time ago. So, excuse me. I can hear my tummy rumbling. I hope it doesn't. I hope you can't hear it. So, I'm going to do a little bit of surgery on these ones here. And we're just going to cut those down so that we can pop them where we want them in our scene. So we're just chopping the ends off there, which is pretty cool. There we go. So for my sand, we're not using those ones, are we? So we might be using those. So let's move this where you can see. So Claire's crafting along as always and needs the beach now. I need to be on a beach. Definitely need to be on a beach. So for my beach, I think I'm going to go with a bit of this scattered straw because it's a really nice soft yellow. So I'm just going to use one of my brushes and squidge this along. Squidge is the official technique. It's not really, but it does seem to work. So I'm just, you know, just rubbing that ink over the surface of my if you've got any, then you'll know this is so good for this technique. It works so well with your Copic markers as well, and any of your alcohol markers, but also for this, for doing your ink blending as well. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of this tea dye, and I have got a brown brush here. This is one of our medium-sized brushes, and I'm just going to add a little bit of the tea dye around the edges of this. So just give it a little bit of a more of a sandy look, or a bit more of a golden look like you would get with sand. So it's got a little bit more of depth to it as well, because we're not covering it all in one flat colour, we're just adding a little bit of shading. I added a little bit too much there, but that's okay. That's okay. We may well put an image over that, so that will be sound. So the other thing that I wanted to do, and I'm going to be really careful here because I don't want to cover everything else in my colour. So I'm going to use some of my tea dye. I've got an acrylic block here. I'm going to rub that onto my acrylic block, and I'm going to add some splatters of this with some water and a brush. But it will go everywhere probably, so I'm going to move anything out of the way that I don't want to end up covered in ink, which means my coloured images I need to make sure are all tucked out of the way. And then we'll add a bit of water on a paintbrush onto this bit of ink that we've smushed onto here, and then I'm going to just tap this on my finger from a height. It's going to be quite big flicks, so until some of that ink has been removed from the brush, then I'll get a little bit closer. And the other way that you could do this as well is just to flick off the side of the acrylic block. And again, this is to kind of mimic the look of grains of sand. Some of these are a little bit larger than maybe you would want, but when it dries, it will dry back and it will look really cool. But it has gone everywhere as predicted. It has gone everywhere, so I just need to tidy up a little bit so that we don't get it everywhere. So I'm taking my chamois, which is quite dry at the moment, but we'll just wipe everything clean. I'll pick these guys up. You can see it's already starting to fade as it dries back, so it will give us a perfect look. See, that one's all, I mean, in this heat I'm not surprised it's drying so quickly. So that is one advantage of the heat. Well, there are lots of advantages of the heat, but one is that your projects are going to dry much quicker. So we'll pop that away, and we can move this now because we're safe for the moment. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a bit of blue to this. I'm just going to check I have got this one the right way around. No, it's in there, isn't it? That's the right way around. And those three there, yeah. Panicked myself a little bit there. So this one we need to be in blue, and a blue that's going to coordinate with this, but is going to be lighter than this. So do I have a little bit of cardstock that I can do a test? What's this? This is a little spare piece of cardstock that we can have a test with. So we've got a couple of options. We've got Salty Ocean, which would have been my first choice, but it is very similar in colour, so it might be a bit dark, but we'll give it a whirl. So that's not too bad. We've also got Mermaid Lagoon, which could also be a good option because we want it to be quite mermaidy because it's a sea. Could be very, very similar. There's a bit more. It's got a bit more of a green tinge to it. So, and I've not used Mermaid Lagoon for a while, so I am I'm feeling the Mermaid Lagoon. So let's go for it. So again, I'm just rubbing the ink over the surface and just adding layers to it. The more layers you add, the smoother the effect will be. The blend will just get smoother the more that you add to it. It all depends how deep you want that colour to be. So that will still stand out from our blue background, which I like. And then for this, instead of adding blue splatters, I'm going to add some white, I think, to this, because that will look like the froth of the ocean in my head. So I'm going to pop that back in there and pop my brush back. So I keep all of my brushes in my caddy, which if you've been with me for a while, you'll know about the caddies. If you're new, you may not have seen the caddies before, but they are really cool spinning caddies for you to put your brushes in. Really useful to just keep everything close by, which is why I have them. And I can just turn them around. I probably should show you one, seeing as I'm talking about it. This is mine, and it just spins with all the lovely colours of the brushes there. So yeah, and that's just how I store mine. I've got two of the large ones. I have got a mini one. We've never had the mini ones made because they cost as much to make as the big ones, and obviously you can get more in the big ones. So we thought, well, why would you pay the same for a small one? Really, you probably wouldn't, would you? So but you can only get 5 brushes in. So this is white opaque paint in like a chalk finish. So this is really, I like this one in particular just because it does really show up. Even when you dilute it, it is still very very pigmented, so you can, it really does show up against your whatever background you've used. So again, I'm going to have to give this a bit of a clean up. So I'll pop that to one side. I mean, I'll just give you a close-up look at how cute that is. I mean, there's such small pieces of cardstock, and it's just, you're using such a small amount of product, but you're getting such a great result with it. So, and again, that's one of the things that I've always loved about the ink blending side of things, is that you can use a scrap of cardstock, just a tiny piece of cardstock, and create something really beautiful with it, and with minimal supplies, minimal cost. And that just speaks to my style of crafting. I really love it. So yeah, so that's why we went all in on the brushes, because I love the brushes. The brushes are just, I couldn't craft without them. And I wanted them obviously all to look really pretty and be in nice colours, and stand on my craft desk in the caddies, because this is something that, you know, I don't think I could craft without now, really. Yeah, what did I do before we had craft brushes? Well, before then I didn't actually do any ink blending because I couldn't do it. So I'm just thinking now, I'm just pondering while I'm just talking away to you and jabbering on about my brushes. I do want to obviously do the dad sentiment, and I'm thinking what colour would be good. And it's either going to be, well, it's going to be one of the colours that I pull out of our images here. And we've got we've got the rainbow represented here, haven't we? With the red, yellow, green and blue. And I'm wondering whether green might be a nice colour. It'd really pop, wouldn't it? And it's picking out the green that's in the images that we've got coloured up. We could go for the red, but I feel the red might be a little bit too much. So I'm inclined to go for the green. And I'm sure I've got some green cardstock that we could use. Let's have a look. Maybe I haven't. Must have got some green. Oh, that's interesting, because I can't seem to find my green. Oh, there it is. Well, I've obviously not used this for a long time because it was right at the back there. Sorry, I hope you could hear me while I was rifling around looking for some green cardstock. So, this is the colour of green that I'm thinking is going to be working its magic. You can see there that I've already made a little hill out of that, so I'm probably going to keep that because that's a little hill that I could use for later. But these pieces, I can definitely get something out of these, as you can see. So again, just using small scraps of cardstock that I've saved, that I've been cutting other things from. That these are the perfect things to be using for your with your dies. So hang on to them, don't throw them away, because you never know when you might be able to use them. So I'm going to cut these out now because I want to check for a start that they are going to be the right colours. Because what I could do is I could ink blend some cardstock in a colour that works as well. So if I try it this way first, then I'll know what I need to do if it doesn't work. I'm also going to cut these out of some foam. I think is going to be my plan. So that, yeah, I think that's going to work. So I need another D for Dad. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut these out of foam as well. I mean, that just works perfectly. So that I can pop these up. And cutting them out of foam is just so much easier than trying to cut out layers or add bits of foam tape. So I've definitely got some offcuts of that here. And you can use white, you can use the black, whichever works best. So I'm going to go with the white, I think. I'm going to cut out this A while I'm also cutting out the D in the green. Oh, there we go. That's my other D. And then we need a couple more of these. It's Jess crafting along with you as well, Claire. We've been really busy today as well, so you may have seen, I've not shared it yet, to our newsletter. Every so often we do a Treat Yourself Tuesday or a different discount for people who are subscribers to our newsletter, and they're really big discounts, really great stuff. So we've just recently, the last one that we've just done was a buy one get one free, so you would buy the stamp set and get your coordinating dice for free. So it was really great offer, which lots of you who are subscribers have taken us up on. So Ant's been super busy today, bless him, packing up all of your orders. So thank you to everybody who did order. And it just made me think that there must be people out there who aren't yet subscribers, who are big Time for Tea followers and fans of what we do, but maybe are missing out on some of these deals. So, sorry, I've just dropped all my card on the floor. So I wanted to mention it in case anybody who was watching, you might be watching the live now or you might be watching the replay. If you're not already a subscriber, then do check it out, because it is definitely worth it for the deals that you get. We'd send you updates of our blog posts and our social media as well. But yeah, it's definitely worth it for the discounts that you get as well, which are subscriber only deals and offers. So I'm going to do some ink blending now. So this is a bit scary, because I need to. You're both at Jess's crafting. I do love that you get to craft together. I wish my mum was a crafter. If that's, you know, I think I get a lot of my craftiness and creativity from my parents, because my dad, he studied art at college when he was younger. My mum does anything that's kind of needle crafty, so she likes to knit and I don't think she crochets actually. She can crochet, but she prefers to knit, and she likes, you know, all things creative. So I definitely get it from my mum and dad, but they don't paper craft, just probably because I think they definitely would love it, but it's something that they've never really, you know, had any exposure to. So to get into it now, I think would be quite tough for them. But what my mum does really love to do, she's loving a jigsaw at the moment. So I'm just going to stamp this in the centre. I'm just going to try and use my eye to line that up rather than anything really technical. It might be a little bit wonky, but it's handmade, so we will be forgiven. So I've used my embossing powder, sorry, my embossing ink, and now I'm using my embossing powder over the top in white. I'm just going to tap that off. And oh, actually I need to pop that back into the pot. So yeah, my mum loves a jigsaw, so I bought her a couple of jigsaws for Christmas actually. I thought it was for her birthday, but it wasn't, it was for Christmas. She's only just finished one of them. She hasn't started the other one. So the first one that she started, she's only just finished. It's been that hard, and it was the image was of a load of cats, like, you know, maybe 100 cats on this image, and yeah, it's taken her forever. She loves it. So just catching up. Claire says that they're using some items they got from a company in the US that Jess got her for her birthday, and it's an ostrich stamp and die. How cute! And Claire says she also knits, sews, crochets, resin, anything at all. See, this is it. I think as crafters, we can just really appreciate all kinds of crafts, can't we? It's just we don't necessarily have the time to do them all. Right, so I'm just applying some heat. In fact, I'm actually going to open my card up and do it like that. So I'm hoping that you can see that changing colour on screen as it sets. And I'm just going to give it a second to cool down. Your cardstock might warp a little bit. It might even change colour a little bit from the heat, but it will go back. Claire says she thinks she knows that jigsaw. If you like a jigsaw and you want a real challenge, I would definitely say that is the one. So I'm just going to buff that off. I think it probably isn't the straightest sentiment in the land, but I don't mind. I think it'll be fine. So one of the reasons why I'm not worried if it's warped a little bit is that when we pop this on, it's going to become much more sturdy. And in order to attach this, again, you could add foam all the way around it, or you could actually cut it from some foam. So I think I'm going to do that because I haven't done that for a while, and it does work really, really well. But I will need another piece, a bigger piece of foam, which I've got some up here. There we go. That's that. Oh, is that going to be big enough? Oh, it might not be quite big enough. Oh yeah, I think it will work. It only needs to be big enough for me to be able to add some of that dimension. So we'll just pop that on there. Pop this through the die cutting machine. So bear with me. And we can start building this now. I hope that the die cutting machine doesn't sound too terrible. It's quite noisy, but it does a great job. So you know, I don't think I would have any other machine, to be honest with you, because it has worked so well. All of them do struggle with warping of the plates and things, but oh, and Lisa's here. She says that she just saw that we're back to lives on a Thursday. Well, it might not be permanent, but I think it probably will be more regular, because Thursday does seem to work. There seems to be lots of things that are coming up on Fridays, and I'm sure people have that same issue themselves, that Fridays, things do happen on a Friday. It's the run up to the week, to a day earlier in the week. So here we go. They're going to then sit together to give us. The way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to add glue to. I might add glue to the back of this because it's a bit more sturdy than the foam at this point. But then when we put them both together, they will firm each other up, if that makes sense. So I'm just adding my glue all the way around, and then I can pop that on top of there. I can hear Ant on his game downstairs laughing away. It does make me chuckle when he's on his Xbox. How carried away they get. I'm just pushing this together so that it all sits properly in place. So that's looking good. So we can now add this into here. Just make sure it's all fully stuck together. So I'm going to add glue now to the back of my foam. That's the only problem with slim lines when you're filming is that they go off out of shot occasionally because they're so long. But I do love a slimline card. I've not done one for a while, and they're good because you've got a little bit more real estate to play with, as they say. So you've just got a bit more card to have a play with and set your scene, which is always nice. That A1 can't wait to get on board, can it? It's gate crashing. So I'm going to pop this into place. I'm going to hold it down, and what I might do is I might add a couple of acrylic blocks here just to help me get it all stuck down. So that's quite good. Get that in place. While that's just drying and setting, I can just do a little bit of a clean up. So I didn't clean off my little my dies that I've got, because we need those, don't we? And I also need to finish colouring that little raccoon image. So that's not. So I think that should be about right, but let me just leave it for a second. Just pop that over there. Two more letters. A little dab of glue all the way around, and then D. Again, if you wanted to, you could just pop a little acrylic block weight over these just to help them set into place. I like to just nudge them about with my fingers first, just to make sure that they are lined up correctly, and then, like I say, a bit of pressure from an acrylic block just helps them set into place. So for our little chap here, green and the yellow going on, so let's try a bit of B01, and then we'll have, now what green will we have? I'm going to go with a YG05 and a YG00. These might be quite far apart, so let's use my little scrap piece of card again. Should have a YG03, I think that would be better. That would be better, wouldn't it? I cannot find it. There it is. Gosh, I knew I had one. See, that feels darker, doesn't it? I'm going to stick with this one. Really nice green. YG05 is solid green. And this is the YG0, which is the mimosa yellow, but is quite green when it's mixed with the other colours. So that's cute. And then yellow, my go-to tends to be kind of a Y13, Y15. So that's the Y13, and I think my Y15 must be in here somewhere. I've still not put away my markers from when we were on Hobby Maker, which is pretty poor. But sometimes there aren't enough hours in the day to do all of the things that you need to do. I don't know about you guys. So I'm guessing that you guys are all in favour of Crafty Thursdays. Now you're here. So what are your thoughts about different days we should do things, and what would you like to see in the lives apart from me eating jellies? Okay, I think this will be nicely set in position now, hopefully. Still stands up beautifully. So, scene. Let's have a look. Oh, has the screen frozen again? Oh no. Oh no, my screen is frozen. And I've been chatting away and nobody knew. Why is that frozen then? Can you guys still hear me? But you can't see me. Right, okay. Bear with me. Hopefully we'll have vision restored very, very soon. Just doing it. For some reason the camera's switched itself off, which is why you couldn't see me. So just bear with me a moment and I will see if we can fix it. I'm glad you can still hear me at least. So let's try this. Okay, this should be okay. Let me remove that one. How's that? Now you should be able to see me okay. I don't know why it switched itself off there. But yes, so now you should be able to see me. Please do let me know if you can't, because on my screen this looks like it works. So what you missed then when you heard me chatting away but you couldn't see anything I was doing was I was colouring this little chap. So so yeah, this is the little raccoon that I coloured in. You didn't really miss much because I just coloured in the lollipop there. Yeah, that was really strange, Annalisa. Thank you for drawing it to my attention, because sometimes when I've got my head down and I'm doing something, I don't realise that you can't see what I'm doing until I look up, and then all of a sudden I was like, I could see that the screen had frozen and see your message, Annalisa. So thank you for that. The camera itself had just decided to switch itself off and got stuck. So very strange. So let's get back to the business at hand of putting this together. Now we can see. So this is where my little bit of beach is going to be. This is where my sea is going to be. I am going to have to do a bit of lifting up of this somehow. But that's looking really cute, isn't it? And then I wanted to do a parasol there and a parasol there, and then maybe cat here, and then in the water I was thinking of having maybe this guy, but he's a little large. So, one moment while we have a little rifle through some of our stamp sets, of which there are very many. So, which one was I thinking of? So, we've got some really cute ones. Where are my little fishy friends? It's either, there's also the little seal. The little baby seal's cute, but they don't really work for this design either. So there's the beach buds, and then there's the fantastic friends, which are obviously going to be in my other stamp bin, aren't they? Of course they are. Let's grab this one. So let's have a see. Where are you? Ah, here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. So we've got the these are the beach buds. That's where the lovely seagull is from. And then we've also got the fantastic friends, which have got these little fishies, and I think it's probably the little fishies or the little crab. That would be really cute. Just like poking nose out of the water. So I'm going to go with one of those, I think. Final little touch, because I've got to have it just perfect. Dash off to do that. I want to create a little slit just there. I've got a pencil so that I can pop my parasol in, and I'm also going to do one just there. So let's do that first. We can pop everything together, and then I'm also going to do the same for my little fish. And my fish, I think I'm going to use this chap here. So, oh, I want it to come out. There we go. So this guy here is very cute. I'll grab my stamp. I'm just going to quickly stamp him out. And colour him in, because it's so easy to do. I'm going to use one of these pieces of card that we're not using, so I'll just stamp him on there, easy peasy. Colour wise, what do we think? What are we going for? We're going to say going to have to stand out a little bit, isn't it? So I'm thinking possibly the pink and yellow would really stand out, or the pink, yellow and green stand out. And this is the a great thing about fish is that you can really make them whatever you want, can't you? I think you don't have to copy a real fish. Caroline says it has frozen, but I can't see you. Great. So are you back up to speed with us, Caroline? You can see me now. That's much better. Card looks great. Annalise says, will you be treating your dad to an ice cream for Father's Day? I hope so. And Caroline says, that's the one I have. I use it a lot. I love the seagull and the crab. Yes, I think the Beach Buds is such a great set. It's got so many different uses, hasn't it? And the images are pretty cute. the crab's very cute. I was very tempted to use the crab. So Annalisa, you asked about whether I'm going to treat my dad. So we are going to go and see my mum and dad on Saturday, and I'm pretty sure they will have somewhere in the village that will sell ice cream. So I think I'm going to do a little slit just about. Oh, that's not my pencil, is it? About there. So I'm going to use an old craft board here. Just pop them to one side. I'll colour my little image in a bit later, but I just want to do this bit first. While I'm thinking, that's my poker tool, not my craft knife. What have I done with my craft knife? Oh, actually, this is a good one. We'll use this one. So, I've got my craft knife, and I'm going to just where I put those little marks, I'm going to just. I'm doing this on this surface because this is not actually forming very well as a craft knife. So be very, very careful with your craft knives, especially if they're not very good ones like this one. So let me see if that one's going to be wide enough. No, I don't think it is. So let's try make that a little bit bigger. The craft knife with this one's not doing a very good job at all. I did think I had another one. Yes, I do. We'll try this one. That's much better. That's much better. So this is my We Are Memory Keepers one, and that's much better. So, so that it'll fit. It's getting frustrating now. You don't want to see me struggling, do you, with putting holes in cardstock? There we go. That works. There we go. So we've got one that goes in there, and then this one. Let's see if we can do this one a little bit better. Now we've got a decent craft knife. I've gone quiet because I'm concentrating, look. So where did that go? Through there. Oh, that one worked much better, didn't it? So, and then that's going to sit there. And then for this one, make sure that's the right way up. So here we might need a little bit bigger because I'm going to pop this guy. Probably his belly is going to sit just there. So I'm going to do a little bit of a curve and just extend it past both sides. I've moved to this one now, and this one's working fine. Who knows what's happening? There we go. That's quite cute, isn't it? Oh, that's really cute. Okay, so it's coming together. So Annalise is saying that she loves the crab, and Alice says, please give him a hug from me. I miss my papa so much. Always extra hard on Father's Day. Oh, Annalise, I know. I'm so sorry. It must be really, really tough. We'll give him an extra big hug. You are so brave, and it's so obvious how much you loved your dad. I often see your posts, and they do make me, you know, they do get me. So shall we colour our little tiny wee? Shall I zoom in? you know, we may be in danger of losing you again if we do this, but we'll risk it so that I can show you me colouring this little chap in. And we're going to go with some very warm reds and pinks. So a bit of R22 and R24 is going to give us a nice salmony pinky shade. So just thinking about what I want his dominant colour to be, I'm going to go with the pink as his stripes. So pink stripes with a little bit of red in there, just to give it a little bit more pop. And then I think we can do a bit of yellow as well. So where I've not done the cleanest of colouring on those stripes, when we blend that through, so I'll do the face in yellow as well, and then some of the Y15. We are really super close, Annalisa. I love them to bits. I don't know what I'd do without either of them, and it's something that I don't even really want to think about, but I know as we get older it's something that we all, you know, have in our heads. So I'm going to give him I think I'm going to go for a yellow tail as well, but I might give him a pop of green for his for this little pop of green there. That's cute. Okay, so I don't know why, but I wanted to say wings. They're not wings, are they? My image on Facebook does keep freezing a little bit, so I hope that you guys can still see. So now I know where I want these guys to be, and I know where I want them to stick. I am going to stick these down to the background, if that makes sense. So I'm hoping you guys can see. To keep going off camera a little bit, but all I'm going to do is add a little bit of glue to the bits that are overlapping. So that actually needs to be a bit more on an angle, so I'll just tip that to one side. Little. Yep, that's that. And then the same on this one, just add a little bit of glue on the bits that I've got that are going to be overlapping. Very nice. Very nice. So that's cute. And then I'll do the same for the little fish. So just to hold this one, I'm going to sit right into the back. So I'll add glue all over the back of this one, and then slot that in, and then just push that into place. So that's really cute. But then these I am going to pop up. And what's really cool is that we did already cut all of these bits out of foam, so I can use the corresponding foam, if I can match it up, to the back of it. So which one is that one? Is it that one? Yes. So, and this is going to pop that in there, line that up. And then we'll do the same with these. But I mean, really, once they're in, they're not coming back out again, are they? Shall I zoom back out a little bit? I'm a bit too close now, aren't I? Zoom back out so you can see everything. There we go. Put that in there, and then that bottom piece goes there. So now we've got the right amount of dimension. They're all the same height, but then we're going to get extra dimension from our characters. So I'd glue all over the back of here. Such a sweet card. This was not what I intended to do, but I do really like it. And Lisa says it does keep freezing once in a while, but comes back, so it's all good. I don't know why it does that. It's so strange that it's. I think it must just be something to do with the internet connection at certain times. And I know this is going to sound really odd, but I do think it's worse on a Thursday. We don't seem to have it we haven't had it this bad for a while. And I don't know whether it's because Ant's on his game at the same time or something. And the government and Brexit. Because they're just responsible for everything, I feel, at the moment. So, final bits. Now we can add our little characters here. So we can get all of these enjoying themselves. We can also add in the little buckets and spades, which is really cute. Oh, that's cute. Put that to one side, and then the little spade. Put the spade inside that one. Love it. This is so cute. It might be the game and the way. So who knows? So let's add a bit of foam to the back of here, and to 2 pieces. That's the perfect size, but I want to, and then I'll add foam onto that as well. That I might stick down, and then I need these 2 to have some. But in this weather, sometimes it's just really hard to know what to eat. I can't. So yeah, I think part of it is because of that. I don't really want to cook. I mean, I don't really want to cook at the best of times. So, so cat goes there. Raccoon goes here. Yes, and then the little rabbit down here. Annalisa's loving the colourful umbrella and the way the lolly matches the colour of the umbrellas. Well, I've tried to make it a busy scene going on here, but I think it's definitely working for us, isn't it? And then a little bit of difference in the background. I'll just add that spade. Sticking to my fingers. There we go. So the final thing to add is the dad, and I do feel like I'm going to have to pop this up a little bit. They will. So I need to figure out how I'm going to make that work, and I might have to use a bit of foam. So I might have to cut it, or do I cut another piece out and do it that way? So I'm just going to move this down so that I can see it a little bit better. I need a little bit of popping up, so I'm going to go for my shaker style tape for this, and I know I don't need any at the top or at the bottom, but I do need some on either side, and this tape is thin enough for the Anthony's Alphas. It's just a little bit fiddly. And Lisa says it's super hot. Is it? So I think that seems to have worked. going to add a little bit to this, the final D, and then we can figure out what we're going to do with the first letter. So sorry if my head pops into view, but I kind of want to do, I feel like I finalised it, so we'll see. It just feels, because it's on a curve, that it should be running along the curve, but it doesn't really work that way. But if this D is also on a bit of an angle, but at this side, then maybe it does work like that, you see. So let me pick that up and try and get them a bit more level. Try not to fully stick them down, because a little bit higher. No, a little bit higher. I'm going with that, and we're living with it. Yeah, I feel like it's not quite right, but I'm not really sure why. So I'm not going to mess with it too much, because I think it looks so cute. So really cute on this. We need some to finish off some of the white areas. So on the brollies, for example, they need some white highlights adding. So that's those. Oh, on our buckets as well, and on this one as well. Just add a few highlights on there. And for the raccoon as well, he needs a few highlights on him. A few little bits on there. That's looking really cute. Oh, and we need some on the little fishy. Awesome. They're also going to look very, very cute on here. Pop that one just behind there. And I love playing with with these without it taking over the scene. So on my sentiments, especially if they're in cardstock, is add the white highlights here as well. I think it just adds a little bit of something. And I don't really think about where I'm doing it. I just like to do opposite sides. I think that makes sense to do it like that. It's not good to have blades uncovered and lurking about. So I think we're done. So that was so thank you for that. We did have a little bit of a breakdown of technology in between, and we are having the occasional little meltdown. It maybe is actually a full-on meltdown because of the weather. But I hope you like the card. I will put some pictures up after result, in case technology isn't being our friend and it is freezing still. Caroline says, lovely card, we'll have a go at doing this tomorrow when I have more time. Thanks for the great demo. Oh, I would love to see if you do get to do it, Caroline. Thank you so much for watching. Claire says lovely as ever, and Lisa says adorable with you. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll show you, it will still stand up even though it is super heavy because of all the layers we put on there, but it does still stand up on its own, and it's just a really nice fun card to send. And you didn't have to have dad obviously on the top. You could put anything on the top. You could have friend, pal, mom, everyone for your help this evening and bearing with us with the technical difficulties. Thanks for sticking with it all the way through if you have, and thank you if you're watching on our newsletter to get the notices when we are going live. You'll also, if you subscribe to us on YouTube, you can get notifications as well when we go live. So it's well worth subscribing to us on YouTube for that. Yeah, we will let you know as well via the website. The banner on the website always tells you when the next live is as well. So I'd hate for you guys to miss out on seeing that. So thank you again, and I